I want to quickly say a thought. People don't understand that the Democrats hate black people. They have hated black people for hundreds of years. The Democrats were trying to stop the ending of slavery. The Democrats funded, the KKK. They started the KKK. They killed black and white people for helping black people. The Democrats are the fathers of people like Margaret Sanger that said, she wanted to create abortion because she couldn't think of anything worse than a black mother having a baby. These types of things, they've always been just a completely racist organization. But people think that there's been some flop, that now the Republicans are this racist organization and the Democrats aren't. But what they don't realize is the Democrats have just stepped on to the next level. They realized, why kill black babies when you can create principles like abortion and get most of the abortions are from black people, get a lot of black people to kill their own babies. Why? Why kill black people's babies when you can get them to kill their own babies? Organizations like Black Lives Matter, they all they talk about is defending sodomy, defending feminism, defending transgenders, etc., because they know, same-sex couples and stuff, they can't procreate. They can't make more babies. It's all about helping stop black people from procreating and having more babies. And then these organizations, that are like Black Lives Matter, that are supposedly built to stop, white on black crime, these outlier incidents where a white cop kills an unarmed black person, that every time they do this, loads of black people get killed. Like, since George Floyd, one death, dozens of black people have been killed, many of them children, very young children that couldn't have done anything wrong to anybody or anything worthy of death. The normal person would look at these children and their heart would burn. They'd be so saddened by the fact that the loss of these little kids' lives, that they would realize that this movement isn't helping things. Like, little kids are losing their lives. But for some reason, there's people that care more about this George Floyd's life than they do these innocent children that never did anything to harm anyone. And now these Democrats are convincing black people to try to take cops out of their community. This irrational fear that cops are just out there going and killing black people. Who is killing most black people? Black people. So if you take cops out of the community, you make it to where cops really can't arrest black people. You make it to where if you arrest a black person, or you even get involved in any kind of altercation with the black person, you're going to be in trouble. You take cops out of these communities, what's going to happen? Well, black on black crime is going to go insane. But they know this. The Democrat Party knows this. They just swap their tactics. They've just realized, why kill black people and then get in trouble and get all this criticism and get all these Republicans and conservatives attacking us all the time? Why do that when we can just create these policies and say they're to help black people, but really they're not? With these policies, we're just going to get all these black people to murder themselves. And look what's happening. These policies have taken over in Chicago. Look what's happening. Look at any of these places where these Democrat policies are taken over. I guarantee you there's more death in a Democrat policy-driven city than there is in any Republican-driven city, country, state, whatever. Wherever there's the most Democrats per capita is where you're going to find the most black death. Guaranteed. I guaranteed every time. But people don't understand this. They don't understand. They think that Democrats are saving them. They think that Black Lives Matter is out there to save them. They think all these organizations are out there to save them. But you've got conservatives saying, no, they're not trying to save you. They're just up to their same old tricks, because conservatives, we've been fighting this agenda for hundreds of years. We've been fighting slavery. Republicans were the ones that emancipated the blacks. We've been fighting slavery for hundreds of years. We recognize the tactics. We know what they're doing. And we're trying to tell you, look what they're doing. Look at BLM. Supposedly to help black people. It gives zero money to black people. All of its money goes to this organization called Act Blue. And you look at where they give their money, and 90% of it goes to the same rich white politicians that are doing these policies that are hurting the black community. The Democrats are killing black people, but they're making black people do it to themselves. And they realize that black on black crime is the biggest black killer as far as murder goes. And so what do? They keep it going, keep it going. You know, anything that causes black death, they're going to support it and be behind it. And the little outlier issues, the little bitty things that they can use to make black people emotional, they're going to use it. Because they don't care if a few, regular people, down in the middle of nowhere, die. They don't care if a few working class people out, die in this battle. All they're trying to do is make sure that black people die. They don't care about, the regular working class black people. They don't care about the regular working class white people, Hispanic people, none of it. All they want to do is just see black people die. That's all they're doing. That's all they've ever been doing. And people, if you don't wisen up to this agenda, if you don't wisen up to it, it's just going to lead to way more black death. I mean, mark my words. In 5 years, if this Democratic agenda wins, it's not going to be 5,000 black lives murdered by black people a year. It's going to be 10,000, 20,000, maybe more. What are they trying to do? Create a race war because they don't care that the small average guy's dying in the street. That doesn't matter to them in their ivory palace. All they want to do is see a bunch of, the little guys, the regular guys, kill each other off. And then as many black people as can be killed is the best. That's what they're doing. And people don't understand it. People don't understand. They've been doing this for a long time. They've gotten better at doing it. They have Satan whispering in their ear, telling them, hey, this is how you do it. The same thing he did to Eve in the garden. Hast God said, got Eve to kill herself by eating the fruit because she thought she was going to get more knowledge. Been doing this from the beginning. He knows what he's doing. And this Democrat organization, that's what it's doing. These liberals, that's what they're doing. The far left, that's what they're doing. And they're just saying that it's the Republicans. They're just saying there's this party swap. There's no party swap. They just say they're for the black people while they institute policies that get black people killed more than anybody else. All you have to do is just go look at any Democrat city. Look at where more black people are dying than anywhere else. Guaranteed it's a Democrat city. Guaranteed. 100%. And you can say, oh yeah, it's just because more black people live there. Whatever. That's why they run it. That's why it's run in those cities. They realize more black people live there. Democrats need to get over there and run that city. They run that city into the ground. So the black people will kill more black people. And then they launder their money through organizations like BLM to give it to more white politicians that are going to go through and do the same things and get black people killed. That's all it's about. And, you think me saying something like this means I'm racist or whatever. People like to say I'm racist. No, I'm trying to save lives. I'm trying to save this country. I'm trying to save the heart of what this is supposed to be and stop racism from happening. Because if there's a race war, we all lose. We all lose. You think I'm going to feel good if I win this stupid war, in 5 years and I look back and I realize I had to lose 3 kids? Think I'm going to feel good that there was a war in the streets and we won or we lost or whatever? It doesn't matter. Everybody loses. Everybody loses. We all lose brothers. You think I want to be fighting a war in the streets? You think I want that? No, nobody wants that. You might think you want that. You don't want that. People need to understand. The Democratic Party hasn't changed. 100 years ago, they were wearing white robes, and that's the only difference. They're not wearing them anymore because they know that everybody will go, look, it's still the KKK. They just took the robes off, that's all. That's what everybody needs to understand. Democrats want black people dead. Nothing's changed.